A strange arrival. The battlefield was quiet now, but the silence was not peace. Smoke rose into the dark sky, carrying the smell of burned metal and broken lives. Ash drifted in the air like snow, and small fires still burned where giant machines had fallen. The war had moved forward, but death still walked here. A lone human soldier walked carefully through the ruins. His armor was scratched and his rifle hung loosely in his hand. His steps were heavy, but his eyes stayed sharp. He had seen enough battles to know danger was never far away. Suddenly, from the smoke ahead, a shadow moved. The soldier froze. His finger touched the trigger, his heart steady but alert. Slowly, the shadow stumbled into view. It was not another human. It was small, weak, and covered in strange armor that was cracked and broken. It was an alien warrior, no taller than a child, thin arms shaking, his body covered in blood. His eyes were wide, glowing faintly in the dark, full of fear. The soldier raised his weapon, ready for a fight, but then the alien fell to his knees. His voice, high and desperate, broke the silence. "It's going to kill me, take it out," he screamed. His words were not perfect, but clear enough. The soldier frowned. He did not lower his weapon, but confusion showed in his eyes. He had expected an attack, not a plea. The alien's small hands clawed at his chest as if something inside was hurting him. He gasped for air and coughed blood, his armor shifting with each painful breath. "Please, it's inside me. It's going to wake up. It will kill me. Take it out." The soldier stepped closer, his boots crunching over broken glass and metal. He could now see the alien better. His body shook violently, sweat and blood dripping down his face. Something beneath his skin seemed to move, like a living shadow crawling inside. For a moment, the human soldier thought this could be a trick. Maybe the alien was trying to lure him closer. Maybe this was a trap. His training told him to stay careful. But then the alien cried out again, louder this time, his voice breaking. "You don't understand. They put it inside me. It's a monster. It eats from the inside. If you don't take it out, I will die, please." The soldier lowered his rifle slightly. His eyes softened, though his body stayed tense. He could see the terror in the alien's face, the kind of fear no soldier could fake. This was not an enemy's trick. This was pure survival. The human moved one step closer, his voice calm but firm. "What's inside you?" he asked. The alien coughed hard and shook his head. "A parasite. A creature. They use us like weapons. They put it inside and send us to fight. If the enemy does not kill us, the creature does. No escape! No escape!" The human's jaw tightened. He had heard rumors of such things. Dark experiments, alien empires using life as tools of war. But to see it now, right before him, made his stomach turn. The alien looked up with wide eyes, glowing with both fear and hope. His voice cracked as he begged again. "Human, help me. No one else will. They will let me die, but you can take it out, please." The soldier stared at him for a long moment. The wind blew softly through the ruins, carrying the faint crackle of fire. The human felt the weight of the choice pressing on him. He could walk away. This alien was not his responsibility. He was the enemy, or at least part of the enemy's army. Helping him could be dangerous. But then again, the soldier thought, what did it mean to be human if he turned his back on someone who begged for life? The alien groaned and grabbed his chest again. Under the skin, something pushed out, a small bulge moving like a worm under flesh. The sight was sickening. The soldier stepped forward quickly now. He knelt down, setting aside his rifle but keeping it close. He looked directly into the alien's frightened eyes. "Stay still," he said firmly. "I'm not leaving you." The alien blinked in shock. His kind had never known mercy from humans. He had expected the soldier to finish him, not to help. His lips trembled. You will help me?" The soldier gave a short nod. "Yes, but I need to know how much time we have before this thing wakes up." The alien shook violently, his whole body twisting with pain. "Minutes, maybe less. Once it starts, there is no stopping it." The soldier grabbed his pack, pulling out a simple medical kit. It was not meant for surgery, but it was all he had. His hands moved fast, his eyes never leaving the alien. For the first time, the alien felt something strange, hope. The battlefield around them was quiet, but inside that ruined street, a new kind of war was about to begin. Not a war between human and alien, not a war of armies, but a war for one fragile life against a monster hiding inside. The tiny warrior's breath came fast and broken. The human soldier's face was calm but serious. Both knew, Time was running out, and in that silence the legend of their bond was about to start. The alien's secret. The alien's breath rattled in his chest, weak and uneven. His small hands clutched the dirt, leaving streaks of blood where his nails tore the ground. The human soldier pressed one hand gently on his shoulder, trying to hold him steady. "Easy," the soldier said in a calm voice, though his eyes stayed sharp. "Tell me what I need to know. What is inside you?" The alien's glowing eyes flicked open. They were full of terror, but also something else, shame. His voice trembled as he whispered, "They made me a weapon." The soldier leaned closer. "What do you mean?" The alien's body shook. His armor, cracked and broken, slid aside as he weakly pointed to his chest. Beneath the pale skin, something shifted. A bulge pressed outward, like claws scratching from the inside. The sight sent a chill through the human spine. The alien gasped again, his words broken by pain. "They put a parasite inside me. It grows, feeds on my blood, my bones. When it wakes, it will burst out, and it will kill everything near." The soldier's jaw tightened. He had fought many enemies, seen many weapons. But this was something worse. This was cruelty turned into science. "Why you?" he asked, his voice low. The alien coughed, his thin body trembling harder. "Because we are small. Easy to use. Easy to throw away. They say we are worthless alone. But with the parasite, we become bombs of flesh, tools of terror." The soldier felt anger rise inside him, not at the alien, but at those who had done this. Whoever these masters were, they had treated living beings like disposable shells. The alien's voice dropped to a broken whisper. "My people never escape. If the enemy does not kill us, the parasite does. No one survives." He looked up suddenly, tears mixing with blood on his face. "No one, until maybe you." The soldier paused, studying him. In the alien's desperate eyes, he saw more than fear. He saw a challenge, a test. If he saved this one life, maybe others like him could be saved too. But time was running short. The bulge under the alien's chest grew larger, writhing as if claws scratched to break free. The alien cried out, his back arching, his thin frame shaking violently. The soldier quickly pulled a knife from his kit, his mind racing. He was no surgeon. He had no special tools, but he had steady hands and he had courage. Sometimes courage was enough. "Listen," the soldier said firmly. "I will try to cut it out, but I need you to stay strong." The alien's eyes widened in disbelief. "You would risk it?" "For me?" The soldier's gaze was steady. "I don't care who you are. No one deserves to die like this." The alien let out a broken laugh that turned into a cough. "Strange. Humans are supposed to be cruel. That's what they told us. They said you are monsters of war." The soldier shook his head. "Sometimes. The ones who call us monsters are the real monsters." The alien closed his eyes, a single tear rolling down his face. "Then maybe there is hope." The soldier positioned the knife, his other hand pressing down gently on the alien's chest. He could feel the creature move beneath the skin, a pulsing rhythm like a second heartbeat. The parasite was waking. Suddenly the alien screamed. His body jerked violently. The bulge tore upward, stretching the skin almost to breaking. The soldier held him down, sweat dripping down his face. "Stay with me," he shouted. The alien's hands grabbed the soldier's wrist with surprising strength. "If I die, burn it. Do not let it live." The soldier met his gaze and gave a sharp nod. "I promise." The alien's eyes glowed brighter for a moment, as if that promise gave him strength. His voice dropped to a whisper. "You are not like the others." The soldier raised the knife, his heart pounding. He had faced enemies, monsters, machines of war. But now he faced something worse. The fear of failing one small life in front of him. He pressed the blade to the skin, ready to cut, and then a sound, a deep, wet growl came from inside the alien's chest. The skin rippled as if something alive was pressing outward, testing the world outside. The soldier froze for half a second. The alien's eyes shot open in horror. "It's waking!" he screamed. The soldier's grip tightened. His face hardened. He whispered only one word to himself. "Now." With a swift motion, he drove the knife into the flesh, cutting across the bulge before the parasite could break free. The alien howled in agony. Blood spilled, dark and hot, as the soldier worked with desperate precision. The growl from inside turned into a screech. Something clawed against the blade, fighting to escape. The soldier gritted his teeth. "This thing dies tonight," he muttered. The alien's scream echoed across the empty ruins, mixing with the parasite's unearthly cry. Smoke drifted above them, and in that broken battlefield, one human and one alien fought not against each other, but against a nightmare growing inside. And somewhere in the shadows, something else was watching. The race against time. The ruins shook with distant blasts, but the true war was happening in the broken shelter where the soldier and the alien fought against death itself. The alien's cries echoed in the shadows, sharp and painful. Blood ran across the cracked floor, mixing with the dust. The soldier's hands worked fast, the blade slick and trembling in his grip. He had no surgeon's skill, no clean tools, no bright lights. Only grit, instinct, and the stubborn refusal to give up. The parasite screamed again from inside the alien's chest, a sound that made the air feel heavy. It was more than a growl, it was hunger. Stay still, the soldier barked, pressing his weight down on the alien's shoulders. The alien thrashed weakly, sweat pouring down his face. His glowing eyes darted wildly. It's moving up. Hurry, human. If it reaches my heart, I am gone. The soldier's jaw tightened. He cut deeper, ignoring the sting of blood spraying across his armor. His hands were steady, his mind focused. Every second mattered. Outside, the sky cracked with thunder as ships roared past. But inside, time slowed to a brutal rhythm. The alien's screams, the parasite's shrieks, the soldier's quick breaths. Then it happened. The blade struck something hard. Not bone, something else. Something that twitched. The soldier pulled back slightly, his eyes narrowing. Beneath the torn flesh, a black limb twitched like an insect's leg, sharp and glistening. The parasite. The alien's body arched violently. It's awake, he cried. The soldier dropped his knife and reached into the wound with his bare hand. Pain cut through his nerves as sharp claws scraped his glove. The parasite writhed, fighting to stay inside. Come out, you bastard, the soldier growled. He yanked hard. The alien screamed in pain, his voice echoing off the stone walls. Something small and black wriggled free, clamped in the soldier's fist. It was wet, slimy, and alive. Its many tiny eyes blinked and its mouth snapped with rows of sharp teeth. The alien gasped for air, eyes wide with both fear and relief. You pulled it out. But before he could say more, the parasite screamed. The sound was shrill, almost intelligent, echoing through the ruins. The soldier's blood ran cold. That was no ordinary cry. Then he understood. The sound was a call. From the shadows outside, another shriek answered. Then another. And another. The soldier turned his head, eyes narrowing. Dark shapes moved in the smoke outside the shelter. More parasites, dozens, maybe hundreds, drawn to the cry of the one he had pulled out. The alien's face drained of color. You don't understand. They don't let their prey escape. The others are coming. They will tear us both apart. The soldier dropped the wriggling parasite to the ground and crushed it under his boot with a sickening crunch. Black fluid hissed against the stone. For a heartbeat, silence. Then the air filled with screeches. The soldier grabbed his rifle, pulling the alien into his arms. The small warrior was weak, barely conscious, but still alive. The human carried him like a child, moving fast. Stay awake, the soldier commanded. We're not done yet. The alien's head rested against the soldier's shoulder. His voice was faint but desperate. Why save me? You could run. Leave me. The soldier's eyes hardened. Because you asked for help. And that's enough. The ground trembled as the first swarm appeared, dozens of black, insect-like parasites crawling over the ruins, their tiny eyes glowing, their claws scratching against stone. The soldier fired his rifle, each shot tearing through the swarm. Explosions of black ichor splattered across the walls. But for every one that fell, two more came. The alien stirred weakly in his arms. You cannot fight them all. The soldier didn't answer. His boots slammed against the ground as he ran through the ruined streets, carrying the alien closer to a shattered bunker ahead. He dove inside just as the swarm closed in, sealing the door with broken steel beams. Inside the dark bunker, the air was heavy with dust. The soldier set the alien down gently, then reloaded his rifle with sharp clicks. His face was calm, but his heart pounded like a drum. The alien blinked slowly, his breath shallow. You risked everything. For me, why? The soldier paused, staring at the locked door where claws already scratched against the metal. His voice was low but firm. Because that's what makes us human. We don't run from cries for help. We answer them. The alien's glowing eyes softened. For the first time in his life, he felt something he had never known. Trust. But outside, the swarm grew louder. The bunker shook as dozens, then hundreds of parasites hurled themselves against the walls. The soldier tightened his grip on the rifle and looked back at the alien. "Stay alive. I'll hold them off." The alien weakly grabbed his hand. "If you fall, they will take me again. Promise me, human. If it comes to that, end me first." The soldier's eyes met his. There was no fear, only steel. "You'll live. I'll make sure of it." The walls cracked. Black claws punched through. Screeches filled the air. The soldier raised his rifle, standing tall in the darkness, a single human against an endless nightmare, and the race against time had only just begun. The creature awakens. The bunker was dark and silent except for the pounding outside. The walls shook with every strike, claws scraping metal like knives on bone. The soldier stood ready, rifle raised, sweat dripping down his forehead. The alien warrior lay weak on the ground, his small chest rising and falling with shallow breaths. The silence broke. A sharp crack split the wall. A hole opened. Glowing eyes peered through. Thin black claws forced their way inside. Dust rained from the ceiling as the parasites shrieked with hunger. The alien's eyes shot open in terror. His voice was faint but sharp. "One is coming through." The soldier didn't wait. He fired a burst of rounds into the hole. Black ichor sprang across the bunker floor. The shrieking stopped, only for more claws to push through from another side. The swarm was not giving up. The soldier dragged a steel beam across the wall, blocking the largest crack. But he knew it would not hold forever. And then, it happened. The ceiling shook violently, and from the shadows above, something dropped down. A parasite, larger than the one he had cut from the alien's chest. Its long limbs twitched, its mouth opening to reveal rows of teeth dripping with black slime. It landed on the floor with a sickening thud, its tiny eyes glowing like embers. It screeched, the sound sharp enough to make the air vibrate. The alien gasped, his weak voice breaking. "This one, it's a breeder, stronger, smarter. If it lives, the swarm will never stop." The soldier's rifle snapped upward. He fired. Bullets tore through the creature's body, black fluid splattering the walls. But the parasite did not fall. It leapt forward with terrifying speed, crashing into him. The rifle clattered away. The soldier hit the ground hard, rolling as claws scraped across his armor. Sparks flew. The parasite hissed, trying to dig into his chest. The soldier gritted his teeth and shoved it back with raw strength. He grabbed his knife, slashing across its side. The blade cut deep, but the creature barely slowed. The alien tried to rise, weak and shaking. "Human, it's inside the walls. If you don't kill it, the others will break through." The soldier rolled aside just as the parasite lunged again. Its claws slammed into the floor, cracking the stone. He grabbed a broken pipe from the ground and smashed it across the creature's head. It shrieked, stunned for a second. The soldier dove for his rifle, snatching it up. He turned, firing point blank into the parasite's face. The head exploded in a burst of black slime, splattering the walls. The creature collapsed, twitching violently before going still. The bunker was filled with smoke, blood, and silence. But the silence did not last. Outside, the swarm screamed louder, answering the death cry of their kin. The walls shook harder than before. Dust rained down like a storm. The alien coughed, blood staining his lips. "You killed it. But now they know we are here. They will not stop until this place is nothing but bones." The soldier reloaded his rifle, his face calm but eyes burning with resolve. "Then we make them stop," the alien's weak laugh echoed. "You speak as if you are one of the gods, but you are only human." The soldier glanced at him, his voice firm. "Sometimes that's enough." The alien stared at him for a moment, and for the first time he believed it. But then, the soldier noticed something. The dead parasite twitched. He spun, aiming his rifle again. The creature's chest split open, and from within, dozens of tiny larvae crawled out, each one no larger than a hand. Their tiny eyes glowed, their sharp mouths already snapping. The alien screamed. They planted eggs. If they escape, this world is finished. The soldier fired into the nest, bullets shredding the larvae. Black fluid covered the floor, the air thick with the smell of burning flesh. But a few of them scattered into the cracks, vanishing into the shadows of the bunker. The soldier cursed under his breath. The swarm outside, the larvae inside. The war was closing in from all sides. He looked back at the alien who lay pale and trembling. "Can you walk?" The alien shook his head weakly. "No, my body's too broken. But I can still fight. If you give me a weapon." The soldier stared at him for a second, then nodded. He handed the alien a small pistol from his belt. The alien's tiny hands shook as he gripped it, but his eyes glowed with determination. Outside, the swarm screamed again, louder than ever. The walls cracked further. The soldier raised his rifle. The alien raised his pistol, and as the first parasite burst through the bunker door, both fired together, man and alien, side by side, against the nightmare. The battle for survival had truly begun. The operation of survival. The bunker was shaking like a dying beast. Every wall trembled under the swarm's claws. Screeches filled the air, rising higher and higher until it felt like the sound itself could break bone. The soldier fired again, blasting another parasite that crawled through the cracked door. Black ichor sprayed across the floor. He stepped back quickly, dragging the small alien behind him. The alien's face was pale, his body trembling. His chest bled heavily where the first parasite had been cut out. But worse, his skin was moving again. Something else was inside him. His voice was weak, broken. There is another. I can feel it. They put more than one. The soldier froze, his heart pounding. He had pulled one creature out already, but another was growing. The alien's eyes widened in terror. If it wakes, I am finished. And so are you. The soldier's mind raced. He could not fight the swarm, guard the bunker, and stop the parasite inside the alien all at once. But there was no choice. He set the alien down on a broken table, sweeping aside rusted metal. His voice was steady, commanding. Listen to me. I'm going to cut it out. Right here. Right now. The alien gasped, his small hands gripping the soldier's wrist. In the middle of this? The soldier's eyes burned with determination. If I wait, you die. If I act now, maybe you live. The alien stared at him for a long second. In that gaze, he saw no doubt, no fear, only resolve. Slowly, he nodded. Then do it. Even if I scream. Even if I beg you to stop. Do not stop. The soldier pulled out his knife again, blood already staining the blade. He laid his hand over the alien's chest, feeling the sick, unnatural movement under the skin. The parasite was stirring, scratching, trying to escape. Bite this, the soldier said, handing him a piece of cloth. Don't let your screams give them strength. The alien bit down, his glowing eyes locked on the soldier. Then the knife cut. The alien's body arched, a muffled scream tearing from his throat. Blood spilled across the table. The soldier worked fast, slicing deeper, pushing past layers of muscle with grim precision. Outside, the bunker door finally gave way with a thunderous crack. Parasites poured in like a black tide, their shrieks deafening. The soldier's free hand grabbed his pistol. He fired without looking, hitting the first two that leapt forward. Then he shoved the weapon back into the alien's weak hands. Shoot! He barked. The alien's hands shook, but he lifted the pistol and fired. The small blasts echoed, dropping one parasite, then another. His aim was poor, but his will was fierce. Meanwhile, the soldier dug deeper with the knife. His hands were covered in blood, his face twisted with focus. He felt it. The slick, writhing body of the parasite just beneath the bone. Got you, he growled. The alien's muffled scream grew louder as the soldier's fingers forced their way inside. He gripped the parasite, its claws tearing at his glove, and yanked with all his strength. With a wet rip, the creature came free. It was larger than the first, its body coiled and snapping, teeth snapping for flesh. The soldier slammed it to the ground and drove his knife through its skull. Black fluid splashed, burning the stone. The creature writhed, then went still. The alien gasped for air, spitting the cloth from his mouth. His body trembled, but his glowing eyes shone with life. You saved me again. But the moment was short. The swarm screamed louder, filling the bunker completely. Dozens of parasites climbed the walls, crawled across the ceiling, their eyes glowing in the dark. The soldier stood over the alien, rifle in one hand, knife in the other. His voice was calm, unshaken. Stay alive. I'll hold them. The alien reached for him weakly, his voice hoarse. Why risk so much for me? The soldier's eyes never left the swarm as he chambered another round. Because if I don't, then we're no better than them. The first parasite leapt. The soldier fired, blasting it midair. Another dropped from the ceiling. He spun, stabbing upward with his knife, pinning it to the wall. The alien fired his pistol, hitting another one creeping close. For a few moments, man and alien fought together side by side, the air filled with gunfire, screams, and the stink of burning black blood. The soldier knew they couldn't hold forever. The swarm was endless, But every second bought was another second for the alien to breathe, another second for hope to survive. And in that bunker of death surrounded by nightmares, one truth became clear. It wasn't just an operation of survival for the alien. It was an operation of survival for them both. Humanity's courage revealed, the swarm did not stop. No matter how many parasites the soldier shot, more crawled through the broken door, their claws scraping, their shrieks rattling the stone walls. The bunker floor was slick with black ichor and blood. Smoke from the rifle choked the air. The alien tried to reload his pistol, but his hands were shaking, slippery with his own blood. He dropped the magazine. His eyes widened in despair. We cannot win this. The soldier shoved another clip into his rifle with steady hands. His face was pale, his body bruised, but his eyes burned like fire. We don't need to win, he said coldly. We just need to make them fear us. The alien froze at those words. Fear? Against the swarm? Impossible. They were mindless, endless, born only to kill. But the human spoke as if he believed it. A huge parasite smashed through the side wall, its body armored, its jaws dripping acid. The swarm howled in unison, their screeches shaking the air like thunder. The soldier lowered his rifle, his lips curled into a grim smile. He pulled a small metal canister from his vest, a grenade scarred and old but deadly. He flicked the pin free with his thumb. The sound clicked sharp in the silence between screams. The alien's glowing eyes widened. What are you doing? That will kill us both. The soldier's voice was calm, almost gentle. Not if I make it count. The swarm surged forward, climbing over each other to reach them. The armored beast roared, charging. The soldier stepped into the open, grenade in one hand, rifle in the other. And then, he shouted, not in fear, not in pain, but with a roar so loud, so defiant, it drowned out the swarm itself. His voice thundered through the bunker, a sound of raw human fury. Come and take me! The alien flinched. For a heartbeat, the swarm actually slowed, their screeches faltering. Even creatures born from darkness had never heard such a sound. The soldier opened fire, each shot echoing like a hammer strike. Parasites dropped one after another, but he did not retreat. He stepped forward, closer, daring them to come. The alien stared in shock. This was not strategy. This was not logic. This was something else entirely. Something only humans carried deep inside. A kind of courage that was madness and brilliance at the same time. The armored beast lunged. The soldier charged to meet it. With his last burst of bullets, he blasted its eyes, blinding the monster. Black ichor sprayed across his chest. Then, without hesitation, he leapt, slamming the live grenade straight into its open maw. The alien screamed, "No!" The soldier shoved the beast back with all his strength and dove away. A blinding flash ripped the bunker apart. The explosion shook the ground like an earthquake, tearing parasites into pieces. Smoke and fire swallowed the swarm. For a moment, there was silence. The alien coughed, choking on dust. His ears rang from the blast. His glowing eyes searched the smoke desperately. Human. Human. Through the haze, a figure stumbled forward, burned, bloodied, his armor torn apart, but still alive. The soldier limped back, his face blackened with ash, his rifle gone, but his eyes still burned with that same fire. The alien's jaw trembled. How did you survive that? The soldier smirked, his voice hoarse. Because I refused to die. The swarm was broken, scattered. The explosion had crushed the armored beast and burned dozens of parasites. The survivors hissed, uncertain now. For the first time they hesitated. The alien felt it too. They fear you. The soldier picked up a jagged piece of metal, holding it like a blade. His hands shook, his body weak, but he stood tall, staring at the swarm. They should. The parasite screeched again, but it was different now. Less certain, almost afraid. They scuttled back, claws scraping as they retreated into the dark cracks of the bunker. The soldier leaned against the wall, his breath ragged. His body could barely stand, but his spirit blazed brighter than ever. The alien crawled to him, his small hands trembling. "You should be dead. No creature can take that much pain and keep standing." The soldier looked down at him, his face calm. "That's why they'll never understand us." The alien blinked, confused. "Us?" The soldier nodded. "Humans." For the first time, the alien felt it. Not pity, not shock, but awe. This was not just survival. This was something else. Something terrifying. The human had stood against the endless swarm, broken their charge and made them retreat, not with strength, but with courage so fierce it became a weapon. And in that moment, deep inside, the alien understood. The galaxy did not yet know the power of mankind. But it soon would. The legend is bow smoke still filled the bunker. The walls were cracked, the air heavy with the stench of blood and fire. The soldier leaned against the rubble, chest rising and falling like thunder. His hands were torn, his body trembling, but his eyes stayed locked on the shadows where the swarm had vanished. The alien warrior lay close, his glowing eyes wide with disbelief. They left." His voice was almost a whisper. "The swarm never retreats, never." The soldier spat black blood onto the ground. His voice was hoarse, steady. "They do now." The alien shivered. It was not just the explosion that drove them back. It was the human himself. That roar, that fury, that refusal to break. It had carved fear into creatures that knew no fear. For the first time, the alien understood. This human was not simply fighting to survive. He was teaching the enemy something. The ground trembled again, not from parasites this time. Something heavier. A deep rumble echoed through the smoke. The alien froze. No, it cannot be. The Queen is here." The soldier turned slowly, gripping his broken blade tighter. From the cracked ceiling, a massive shadow unfolded. The Swarm Queen crawled into the bunker, her monstrous body stretching wall to wall. Her jaws dripped acid, her many eyes glowing like burning coals. She hissed, a sound so deep it shook the stones loose from above. The alien's voice broke. "She came for you. She felt the death of her children. She wants to kill the one who dared defy her." The soldier's body ached. He could barely stand. Yet he stepped forward, every breath burning like fire, every muscle screaming in pain. He looked up at the towering monster and whispered, almost to himself, "Good." The Queen lunged, her claws smashing the floor. Dust exploded, rocks rained down. The alien screamed, diving for cover. But the soldier did not move. He ran forward, straight into the storm. The fight was madness. The soldier rolled beneath her claws, slashing at her tendons with the jagged metal. Acid sprayed, burning his arms, but he didn't stop. He climbed onto her back as she thrashed wildly, stabbing again and again. The alien crawled out, his eyes glowing brighter. He saw the impossible. One man clinging to a nightmare beast, refusing to fall. "Human," the alien shouted, voice cracking. "You cannot kill her. She is endless." The soldier gritted his teeth, stabbing deeper. His voice roared across the chamber. "Nothing is endless if it can bleed." The Queen shrieked, her massive body slamming against the walls. Cracks spread, stones collapsed, the bunker breaking apart. The alien shielded himself as dust and fire filled the air, and then silence. The Queen's scream cut off. Her massive body crashed to the ground, shaking the earth. Smoke swirled around her fallen form. The alien stared in shock. The Queen's head was gone, blown apart by the last grenade strapped to the soldier's chest. Her black ichor spread across the floor like a lake of shadows. The soldier lay on the ground, bloodied, unmoving. The alien dragged himself to him, trembling. No, you cannot die now. Not after this." He pressed a tiny hand against the soldier's chest, a faint heartbeat. Weak, but still there. The alien's eyes filled with something his kind had never felt for another species. Respect, awe, even loyalty, he whispered. "I will carry your story. The galaxy will know." And he did. Days later, in a council chamber light years away, the tiny alien stood before his people. His body was still broken, but his voice was steady as stone. He spoke of the bunker, the swarm, the Queen. He spoke of the human who stood when no one else could. "They thought us weak," he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. "But I saw a truth the swarm itself could not deny. Humans do not break. Whispers spread across the chamber. Doubt turned to shock, shock into fear, and fear into belief. The soldier's roar still echoed in the alien's memory. Come and take me. That roar spread across stars, carried by word, carried by fear, carried by awe. Even the swarm began to whisper of it in their dark hives. The story of the one who killed their queen and made them retreat. The galaxy now had a new name to fear. Not the swarm, not the parasite, but the species that refused to die, humanity. And the legend began.